Welcome to Chai with Manjula. India is home to nearly 1/3 of the world's underprivileged and underfed children. Hunger and malnutrition not only cause disease, disrupting physical and mental growth, but they also prevent children from going to school. Consequently, in India, 20% of children between the age of 6 and 14 are not enrolled in school. Hunger and illiteracy are two of the most immediate challenges facing India. Today, we'll introduce you to an organization that has made major headway in tackling both challenges with what has become the world's largest school lunch program, serving free meals to more than 1 million children per day. Their ingeniously designed facilities allow them to prepare up to 185,000 meals in just 5 hours, enabling them to optimize quality and minimize costs, making their operation a model for the rest of the world. The organization is Akshaya Patra, and to tell us about its enormous success and amazing operation, Charu Gupta is here. She chairs the San Francisco Bay Area chapter of the organization in the U.S. Charu, good to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me over, Manjula, and giving me an opportunity to discuss the achievements and the vastness of the Akshaya Patra organization.
Well, the statistics are just staggering. So I'm glad you can tell us about what does it mean, what does it translate into in numbers? How many millions of children are we talking about that are underfed and are not in school?
Right. So 57 million children in India are undernourished. 57 million accounts for about 1/3 of the total children population in in the world. That are undernourished at this time. Mm-hmm. And India is unfortunately home to that. Now, undernourishment eventually leads to malnutrition. Mm-hmm. And within India, we have about 2.5 million kids who are suffering from malnutrition. Malnutrition itself leads to different diseases, and it leads to stunted growth on an intellectual and a physical level.
I see.
Of those 2.5 million children that we're discussing right now, about 1.2 million children actually have sad endings. They don't survive because of undernourishment and malnutrition.
I see.
So Akshaya Patra is working towards solving that problem. India itself ranks approximately 66 out of 88 developing countries that are facing the crisis of hunger.
I see. And how many children are out of school? How many millions?
Right. So the other problem that we do notice in India is illiteracy. Mm-hmm. So 20% of the children aged between 6 to 14 years of age do not attend school. They're not enrolled in any school. We will see them on roadsides. We will see them just doing child labor in India. That accounts for about 25 million children in India.
I see.
Given the fact that these two are the biggest problems that today's children in India face, Akshaya Patra addresses both these challenges simultaneously.
Yes, a brilliant idea. One solution to two major problems. So I believe you are serving 1 million meals a day, which is incredible. Now, where are these schools and how many schools are receiving these meals?
So these schools are spread across different states of India. We've got our presence in 7 states.
I see.
We've got 17 kitchens. The states that I was discussing include Karnataka, from where it was originated, in one of the Bangalore kitchens. We've got Andhra Pradesh, we've got Uttar Pradesh, we've got Orissa, amongst others, and Rajasthan. So there are 7 states total, and we have our presence in 17 kitchens. Within these states, we have 17 cities that support different kitchens.
I see. Now, the organization has been around for about 9 years now.
That's right.
What kind of an impact have you seen in terms of eliminating hunger and illiteracy?
So the impact has actually been on the tangible basis and the intangible basis. AC Nielsen actually did research and came up with some statistics that were rather surprising. So in the enrollment rate, we've seen a dramatic increase in the enrollment rate itself. Amongst the boys, we've seen a probably about a 14%, 13.8 to be more exact.
Okay.
Amongst the girls' enrollment, we've seen a further improvement, and it came up to be 34%.
Wonderful.
So these are all girls that you see, very small girls that would rather, their parents would have probably sent them to do some work, to do some household chores, but now they've been enrolled in schools. The attendance itself has gone up dramatically, up to 15% in certain schools.
Wonderful.
The dropout rates at all levels has dropped amazingly as well. So we know that the program is working. We know that there is a substantial impact, not only towards the education side, but also empowering these kids to make them feel confident of themselves, to make them sure that they're getting proper meals, a proper diet, balanced diet, and their parents feel proud of them. They feel that this is an incentive for them to go to school rather than send them to work.
I'm sure there must be many interesting stories also of children.
Absolutely.
Whose lives you have transformed. Can you share anything with us?
Sure. So there's one particular case in which a 10th grader by the name of Manjula has actually written a poem on the impact of Akshaya Patra on his lives and many of his peers' lives. I would like to recite that for you.
Please, go ahead. Sure. So he has written this poem after he graduated from high school?
Right. So he's written this poem, and truly you can see through the poem how it has touched his heart.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm glad you brought it.
The poem starts out, "Noble is the goal of Akshaya Patra, blessing for the underprivileged. Blessed are we that we are under its shade. Let its music spread everywhere. Toiling it is for our benefit, reaching us timely and without fail. Akshaya Patra is the lighting lamp of our life. Pray that it be truly Akshaya, inexhaustible. Leads the underprivileged to light, brings a twinkle in every pupil's eye. Noble is the goal of Akshaya Patra. Unfortunate are those who do not appreciate this. From darkness to light, from gloom to bloom, from drowning in the sea, safe, deep sea to safety, Akshaya Patra is the beacon of our life. Noble is the cause of Akshaya Patra."
Beautiful.
It's absolutely.
And that refers to the meaning of Akshaya Patra. Do you want to tell us what Akshaya Patra means?
Akshaya Patra has a Sanskrit origin, and it means an unlimited vessel.
Wonderful. How appropriate.
Very appropriate.
Right. Now, this is an anecdote there, but when I was reading your website, I found so many accolades there. The organization is being lauded at the international level as the global leader. Can you please share some of those accolades with us?
Sure. As Akshaya Patra reaches 5,700 schools, we have definitely gotten some global presence, global recognition. President Obama himself has written a congratulatory note to Akshaya Patra stating that Akshaya Patra is an effective and very efficient organization, and this model itself can be replicated globally. If we were to replicate this model globally, we would definitely achieve wonders.
Yeah, that's right. And what about the Harvard Business School?
Right, so Harvard Business School has come out with a case study stating that Akshaya Patra's precise time management is a model that we can follow, and they've actually performed published a case study on Akshaya Patra.
And the organization was also invited at the World Economic Forum.
Exactly. It was recently invited at the World Economic Forum. We've also got some of our slides and some of our pictures and material at the Congressional Hunger Committee, which is in Washington, D.C., as we're discussing right now. We're being applauded there for our work and our efforts, and seeing this as a very, very scalable organization that can be replicated worldwide.
Well, this is all very impressive and speaks volumes for the work that Akshaya Patra is doing. What makes it so successful? What is so unique about Akshaya Patra that it has become a model for the rest of the world in such a short time?
So Akshaya Patra, as you probably just have researched yourselves, the mission that Akshaya Patra has is no child should be deprived of education because of hunger.
I see.
Catering to this mission, the people, the founders, the team members who are involved in Akshaya Patra have put in their heart and soul to make this as an efficient organization as possible.
And who are some of the people
Yes, so
involved?
the founder himself was Sri Madhu Pandit Das, and he founded Akshaya Patra in the year 2000. In June 2000, actually, we just completed our 9th anniversary.
Okay.
He founded this in a small kitchen in Bangalore, started out with 1,500 students being fed in 5 schools.
I see.
And as you noted right now, we are well past our 1 million children feeding threshold.
Right, right.
We have many other dignitaries from the Indian government as well as even senators and all from the U.S. government who are involved and supporters. Mr. Narayan Murthy is a keen supporter. In fact,
He's
he will
chairman
be
of Infosys.
right.
Yeah.
In fact, he will be coming here on our first Bay Area celebration of our 1 million children feeding threshold.
Okay.
So while we're in this process, we've got a number of people, other people involved, Mohandas Pai, who is also Infosys involvement. We've got the former Chief Justice of India involved in this organization.
I see.
We've got different governments in different states who are also involved. So with such an extensive spread of people, of dignitaries, we have been fortunate enough to vastly, multiply our scalability in the last 9 years.
I see.
Now, to your question, how is this particular organization unique? I must say the first and foremost is it's extremely cost efficient and effective organization.
Okay.
By donating or by utilizing $28, we feed a child for a complete year.
And how do you do that?
So one of the basics of feeding the children is, of course, when we have our centralized kitchens, which we have in 17 locations. So these kitchens are extremely high-tech oriented. They're actually architected by engineers.
I see.
So the efficiencies, the mechanics that are involved in these kitchens help us to drive our costs very low. Right from the fact that when the grain is cleaned, right from the cutting of the vegetables, right from loading this food onto delivery trucks for delivery into various schools, they're highly efficient and mechanized. Now, the other, we have 2 models in the kitchen. One is the centralized kitchen, one is the decentralized kitchen.
Nice.
The centralized kitchen is the one that I discussed. The decentralized ones are the areas in where we have not been able to establish our normal high-tech kitchens. So how we work is we provide employment to local women and local men of the area. These local women are cooking under very high quality standards. And these women are cooking to serve these schools. So we're kind of doing a double fold here. We're providing employment to these local communities.
Helping the economy.
Exactly.
Local economies.
Exactly. And these women then in turn send their kids to these schools. By word of mouth, we get to have more attendance in those particular regions. So this is the cost effectiveness that we're building in. With the cost effectiveness, we do not, sacrifice our quality in any way. We maintain our hygiene, and we are ISO certified by international standards.
Wow.
So, which is a very rare mix that you see in organization. So the other way that we do excel at what our operations are is by having a public-private partnership, which that means is on our side we've got public donations, we've got governments that are involved.
I see.
So whereas I was mentioning to you, $28 feeds a whole child for a whole year. In states where we have government to support us and subsidize, we can feed 2 children for the same amount.
Okay.
So that has a tremendous impact. The government also helps us with, providing some tax breaks, providing certain land and water amenities.
I see.
So we've been fortunate enough to have that support from them. The other portion that Akshaya Patra really excels in is scalability. So going from a very small number to a very large number is something that Akshaya Patra is known for. And again, this model is a model that can be replicated throughout the world. It's very doable in most of the regions of the world.
Okay.
So this covers a little bit of the involvement of the people and the differences that Akshaya Patra focuses on.
And how do you raise funds?
So funds are raised in different ways. Of course, we encourage donations from public parties. We're absolutely using the government to help us support that. We're doing events, awareness events and fundraising events in cities, in colleges, in schools. The kids might be doing some event, they're selling bracelets on their own level.
In the U.S. as well as in India?
In the U.S. as well as in India. We have a program 1-for-1 in colleges. So basically, you might have an event in which you can have the tickets up to $28, which kind of symbolizes our feeding one child. And the funds are also raised by having different fundraising activities and galas or just events.
I see.
In this coming October, in the Bay Area itself, we're having a celebration of our achievement of feeding 1 million kids.
I see.
In which Mr. Narayan Murthy of Infosys Technology will be coming and being the keynote speaker there. So we're hoping to raise awareness through that. The other areas that we're focusing on is getting presence. We will be participating in the FIA parade. We'll have a booth here. As we're talking, we're getting involved in a Bengali Association event that is happening currently.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Sounds great. This might be a good time for us to see the video that you have brought. And then we'll carry on from there.
Sure.
The modern age has brought about a dissolving of geographical boundaries that divide us as we enter into an era of global oneness. The Indian workforce has entered the global work arena. However, development is usually complete only when it is in a holistic way. Giant strides are being made in the social development sector. Akshaya Patra is one such program that has established a successful template of serving school meals in government schools, impacting the lives of ever so many underprivileged children in India, taking them a step further into becoming a vital workforce in the future. Begun in the year 2000 in Bangalore, the school feeding program has scaled up rapidly. How does every one of these children get a hot, nutritive meal every single day? What makes this program run with such efficiency? Typically, work in an Akshaya Patra kitchen begins while the rest of the city is in slumber. Clockwork precision, use of technology in the kitchen, and dedication are few of the hallmarks of the successful template. Silo, a storage unit usually used in the agricultural sector, has been put to good use in the Akshaya Patra kitchen. A de-stoner separates the debris, husk, and even the broken pieces of rice. Measured amounts of rice are put in vessels for washing and then tipped into ducts. A level below, the rice is tipped into a huge cauldron. A cauldron like this can cook rice for 600 children at a time in just 15 minutes. Meanwhile, clean vegetables are cut and other fresh ingredients are prepared for the curry. Lentils, vegetables, seasoning and spices are tipped into similar ducts into another cauldron. Once cooked, it is again tipped into stainless steel ducts and collected in stainless steel containers in the level below. The packed containers are loaded into customized vehicles, each of which can transport the hot steaming food for 5,000 children to various schools up to 45 miles from the kitchen.
Well, that's an awesome kitchen. I can't believe it. When I read that you can prepare up to 185,000 meals in 5 hours, I was just wondering, how could someone do that, fresh, hot Indian meals in a few hours? But this is just simply amazing, the setup that they have, how they have leveraged technology. and some meticulous execution of a brilliant idea. It's scalable, it's affordable, and a handful of such organizations can literally transform the world and eliminate hunger and illiteracy, two of the major problems facing us right now. So wonderful. I'm so glad that you brought this video and shared it with us.
So as you've seen in the video, the massive, extensive operations are a very, very useful way for us to be very cost effective, right? The $28 for feeding a child, it brings the cost per meal to just 12 cents a meal, which is an amazing number.
Right.
Not only does it cater to the cost effectiveness, but our centers in South India cater to the local cuisine there. Our centers in North India later cater to the local cuisines there. So in South India, we serve sambar, we serve rice, we've got the local vegetables so that the kids feel at home. They don't feel out of place with misplaced cuisines. And in North India, we have more towards chapati and some vegetables and some dal associated with it. So the kitchens, the organizations, the complete structure of the infrastructure of Akshaya Patra has brought it to a level where we are able to provide support to over 1 million kids currently. The other factor that is very, very high relevant, especially in the developing countries, is the transparency, which we see in this organization. The transparency and the quality standards are amazing. The transparency in accounting standards, we are supported by KPMG. They do our audit of all our accountings and make sure that we are above any of the accounting standards that they have prescribed for any normal corporation as well. We've been fortunate enough to get their support for that. As well as our quality and hygiene, there has been no instance in which...
you can see that in the video.
In the kitchens, You're seeing these women, they've got their hair covered, you're seeing all of these
very clean
men.
operation.
Absolutely. Very clean and efficient operations that drive us to make this an extremely efficient organization.
Yeah, you can see that. So you chair the San Francisco Bay Area chapter. Tell us about the activities here in the U.S. and in the Bay Area.
Right. So San Francisco Bay Area chapter was launched about 2 years ago, and we had a very humbling launch. Just got some of the people involved to let them know, yes, Akshaya Patra is an organization in which we feed the children in India and also provide them education. Within the U.S., we have about 7 chapters.
Which other cities?
Right. So we started in Boston. And in the Boston chapter, that's our corporate, basically, headquarter of the Akshaya Patra Foundation USA, Mr. Deshpande.
Another well-known person.
Exactly, of Sycamore Networks, is heading that, is chairing that. Madhu Sridhar is the president of that particular region, of the USA region. And we have chapters in New Jersey. We've got chapters in Dallas, Houston.
All major cities.
All major cities, right. Michigan, and we have many other chapters that are in their forming states right now. Recently, we had launched a Mother's Day campaign, Make Your Mother Proud, by donating to this cause. And it was a very successful campaign that we launched. It was a very last-minute campaign, but we did have tremendous outroar of donations come in. We're doing similar campaigns for Father's Day as well. We did. We had a great support come in for that. So as we're growing our roots within the U.S. community, we are realizing that there are people out there who are willing to support an organization who can prove itself, and willing to support an organization which is very well effective and very well organized. And Akshaya Patra provides us with both those areas of expertise.
So what is this event that's coming up? What date and what's happening?
Right, so on October 25th.
October 25th.
Right, we will 2009. We will be hosting an event at the Milpitas ICC. And we've got limited seats there available. Of course, all the benefits, all the ticketing and everything goes towards the actual program itself. Mr. Narayan Murthy will be coming here. He hasn't been in the Bay Area for a long time. He's known as a high-tech guru, and he's a big supporter of Akshaya Patra. He will be coming here. Mr. Deshpande will be coming here to make sure that this event is a success too for us.
Okay.
So we're hosting it in the evening. It's a dinner, and the major reason is to basically celebrate that we have surpassed our 1 million children, feeding of our 1 million children.
That's reason enough to celebrate.
Absolutely, and the goal is now to reach to 5 million kids by the year 2020.
Okay.
We're hoping with all your support, we will be able to achieve that goal. I would like to say a final note before we do close this.
Sure, go ahead.
And the note is, all of us have been affected by this economic downturn some way or the other.
Right.
We've all felt the pinch. For us, it's been, somewhat of a depression.
Right.
But if we take a step back and look at these children that we're supporting, they are going through a lifelong depression.
That's true.
If we can support them, if we can provide some sort of encouragement, nourishment, and education to them, even if it's one child at a time, we will be making this world a better place, one child at a time. So I'm hoping that your audience, I'm hoping that the Bay Area and other cities within the U.S. will get some motivation and make sure that they are part of some organization, something like Akshaya Patra, whether they're volunteering their time or their donations or just their efforts.
Thank you so much, Charu, for coming by and telling us about Akshaya Patra. Wonderful work, great organization. I hope you get the support that you need, and I wish you success with your endeavors here in the Bay Area, and especially with this event coming up.
Thank you so much, Manjula, for having us.
In case you joined us late, today we featured Akshaya Patra, the world's largest midday meal program that is providing food for education to underprivileged children in India. While the program serves as a powerful tool to fight hunger and malnutrition, it is also the best strategy to combat widespread illiteracy in the country. A public-private partnership, Akshaya Patra combines good management, innovative technology, and smart engineering to deliver school lunch at a fraction of the cost of similar programs in other parts of the world. And that cost is just $28 to feed a child for the entire school year. From the 1 million meals a day that they are currently serving, they plan to scale up to 5 million by the year 2020. And their vision is that no child in India shall be deprived of education because of hunger. An incredible initiative indeed. For more information, you may visit their website, akshayapatra.org. And you may watch this show again at chaivwithmanjula.org. Thank you all for joining us. I'll be back with another inspiring story about giving and people making a difference. For Chai with Manjula, I'm Manjula Gupta. See you next time.